So you got people that sit with their cell phone in their face and they watch believers do street ministry on YouTube, and all they do is criticize, and they just critique them, and all they do is accuse them. You know, they bring accusations against the believers who's in the streets doing street ministry, and they don't know anything about being in hard conflict in the streets when sinners are coming against you, and they opposing you, they threatening you, they spitting on you, they hitting you, and you got to reason with them in this conflict. You got to reason with them to break down their deceptions that they're deceived in. These people that just sit behind the YouTube channel and they just accuse street ministers and just critique them, they don't know what being in a conflict for Jesus is about. They're living a false Christian life. That's what they're doing. Instead of watching the videos and being educated and encouraged and edified, and watching the videos so that they can be encouraged to go out and do the work themselves, they just sit there and entertain themselves watching it to accuse and critique. And that's all it is. They just sit with their cell phone in their face. That's it. And it's no different than someone, being lazy, sitting on the couch all day and just having a remote control in their hand, and all they doing is flicking through television stations. That's it. And this is what these people do. They false believers. They're false believers. They're not in the fight for souls. They can care less. The whole world is going to hell, and they care less. They say, oh, this is not love. They'll say, oh, this is not love. This is not the way to do it. But their way of doing it is just sitting, being a slothful, lazy, false Christian while the world goes to hell. And they don't do nothing. They don't do anything to try to save them. But they want to critique and they want to accuse, the ministers that's actually in the fight for souls. There's many people like that. Many people like that. You should be watching YouTube videos to get educated and encouraged to do the work of Jesus. That's why you should watch them, to be encouraged. I get encouraged when I watch videos of ministers doing the work of the Lord. Hallelujah. And I go out and do the work of the Lord. And this should be you. Don't be like these people that do this. These people are deceived, that critique people, and they're hypocrites.